Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing 25 reasons why you should pick up A Darker Shade of Magic. I recently reread this entire series, A Darker Shade of Magic, which I claim is the series, the books that got me back into reading back in 2019 before I even had a booktube channel. I decided to reread this in anticipation of the new book that is coming out very soon, and I loved rereading the Shades of Magic series again. So today I thought that I would share with you 25 reasons why you should also read the A Darker Shade of Magic series. I once made a video like this for another one of my favorite books, which is Magic of Blood and Sea by Cassandra Rose Clarke. Feel free to check that one out, I will link it. Are you ready? Because here we go. It's a story about parallel Londons with various degrees of magic. In one London, magic is in everything. In another London, magic is power. In a third London, they don't even know that magic exists. And the fourth London has since long ago been destroyed by magic. The first book in the series has a great first line that will instantly pull you into the story and get you curious. I will read it for you. Kell wore a very peculiar coat. Kell Maresh. I love this character with all of my heart. It's our lonely, sad and lost boy with one piercing blue eye and one completely black eye, coppery hair, raised as a royal but kept as a treasure, who can travel across the parallel Londons because he is an Antari. The book features both elemental magic and blood magic. I would personally say that this book is a wonderful introduction to adult fantasy. It's one of the first adult fantasies I ever read, and it's extremely accessible and easy to get into. So if you wanted to get into adult fantasy but have felt a bit too scared and or intimidated, this is where I would recommend you to start. It's a great bridge between young adult and adult fantasy. One of the books in the series features a magical tournament where 3 different kingdoms compete for glory. How fun isn't that? Lila Bard, our adventurous thief with knives. There's a magical coat. It's probably the coolest piece of clothing that you will ever come across in any sort of book. I am personally attached to this coat, and every day I wish that I had one of my own. This series features reluctant allies to lovers. There's nothing forced, there's nothing insta-lovey about the relationship that develops in this story. It's not heavy on the romance, but it is present, but in a way that feels so incredibly obvious and natural and just makes sense without forcing it, and it's great. We have queer representation in this one. Not only is there a bunch of bisexual representation in this one, the author of the story, Schwab, is gay herself. Great queer rep with a mix of relationships. It holds up the second time around. I reread it just now, 4 years after I read it for the first time, and I experienced the same feelings and emotions as I did the first time around. My opinion of this story has not changed in the slightest, I realized. I had the same exact thoughts about things I liked and disliked. It's definitely a book that holds up on rereads. It is mainly a character-driven story with a lot of character development and also character explorations. The universe and world in these books just keeps expanding and growing as you continue with the series. It's definitely not like there's this huge information dump at first. You as the reader learn together with the characters. It's a very fast-paced and quick read. The chapters are short and the book is split into multiple parts with multiple point of views that the chapters are told from. So in my experience, it's really not difficult to get through this book and its story, because if you ever feel bored or annoyed by a chapter, a character, just know that in a couple of pages you will be reading a different chapter with a different character. Rai Maresh, our charming and flirtatious prince. He is just lovely and is somehow able to connect to everyone despite their differences, which makes him one of the most likable characters ever. The girl saves the guy in the series multiple times. We have a great brotherly relationship in the series as well that will just tug at your heartstrings and admire the relationship that these characters have. In this series we have great banter and great dialogues. It's the character interactions for me. If you are ever craving more content in this universe, there's actually a graphic novel series with prequel stories. Perfect if you want to switch up the media that you're consuming. Pirates, thieves, royalty, magicians, priests, villains. This book series truly has it all when it comes to fantasy characters. Holland Vossick, our mysterious, complex, and cold villain who has so many layers that you will just love to discover. The parallel Londons are color-coded. We have grey London, red London, white London, and black London. Color-coded to help you structure these universes. Grey London is actually like our world's London during the 1800s. The author, Schwab, simply has this way with words that I just adore. It's straightforward, but so effective. It's almost like watching a movie or a TV show, but you can also tell that with time her writing does develop. Maybe you have read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, another book by Schwab. I would not necessarily compare that writing to the writing in A Darker Shade of Magic, but during my reread I actually realized, while rereading the third and final book, A Conjuring of Light, that we can definitely see those tendencies, that flowery, lyrical type of writing that is in Addie LaRue. We can see hints of that in the series as well. I like the writing in this book. It's fast-paced, it is fun, it's to the point, but it also allows for so much exploration and development. And finally, this series is getting some new books. It is a completed trilogy, but in September of 2023, a new book in this universe is being released called The Fragile Threads of Power, which will be featuring new characters, but it will take place in the same universe, and the characters that we got to know in A Darker Shade of Magic and that we now love and obsess over will return in that series as well. Schwab has been sharing a bunch of extracts over on her Instagram with paragraphs from the new book, and yes, our favorite characters are featured in that one. And there we have it! 25 reasons why you should read A Darker Shade of Magic! Woo! Did I convince you? Please let me know. I am so glad I reread the series. I'm even more hyped and excited about the upcoming novel. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!
You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes